ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Education Exchange. My name is Anthony Sanchez, and for this episode, we're here with the Copper Canyon Techs Robotics team. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Adrian. I'm a junior. I go to Copper Canyon High School.
My name's Maria Vicente. I'm from 11th grade, and I'm from Copper Canyon High School.
My name is Jaden, and I'm a 12th grader, and I'm from Copper Canyon High School.
So, what is the Techs Robotics team? Who are the Techs Robotics team?
So in Copper Canyon, our robotics team, the Aztecs, goes under the organization of FIRST. They run FRC, FTC, FLL. We're doing FTC, First Tech Challenge. For the sake of that, we wanted our team name. Our mascot is an Aztec, so we decided to do a play on words being the Aztecs, with our team ID being 23766.
Nice. That's a very cool play on words right there. Aztecs, because you are the Aztecs, so that is very clever. I like what you guys did there. And how long have you guys been a part of robotics, and how long has the robotics team been a part of Copper Canyon in general?
So the Aztecs began in 2023.
Yeah, around there.
2023 at Copper Canyon. The three of us have been in it for all three of its years.
Oh, wow. Founding members then, all three of you.
Yes.
Well, what originally happened, it was supposed to start 2022, but registration closed before we could sign up, so we just did like little practice.
Oh, okay. So you guys are just doing little like kind of like practice things here and there, setting up for the next year when you guys were actually going to register and be ready. So how was that first year of the robotics team at Copper Canyon?
It was a ride.
I guess, yeah, because we didn't know a lot of stuff at the time. Like, I just knew how to do basic coding from the previous year from, like, practice on, like, websites. But we just kind of, like, put things together. Because typically how you want to, like, 3D model it first so you have an idea of how it's going to come together. But we didn't do that year and just kind of put everything together. And, of course, we, like, ran into issues along the way.
So when you guys started, how many members did you guys have? Was it just you three, or was it more people involved?
So when we started, there was the three of us, her older sister, who's graduated now, and one of our other friends, his name was Jose. He ended up transferring schools during the season, so we went from 5 members to 4.
Oh, wow. And how many members do you guys have this year?
This year, we have 7.
Oh, okay, cool, very cool. And then how would you describe an FTC competition for someone who's never seen one or never been to one?
When do y'all want to hit one of those?
Well, for an FTC competition, well, you meet like a lot of people. It's like you meet a lot of people and you see a lot of cool robots. You like, you like take this, agent? Sorry, I'm like I blinked out for a little.
It's very overwhelming to actually be there, see all of the other teams, see all of the spectators, everyone's parents, everyone's friends, being in where all the teams have like their pits set up to like fix their robots, continue working, and then just going out in and out of the actual matches. It's a lot to actually take in, but in the end, you have fun while you're doing it.
That's what it's all about, and just having fun at the end. I know for like, especially when it comes to competing, it's a lot of stress because at the end of the day, you do want to win. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to be number one. But all that matters at the end is that everyone's having fun, because that's what we're all here to do, is to have fun. And so, what kind of robots do you guys have? Are you guys making for you guys' challenge this year? Like, what are you guys competing this year? And if so, like, what robots are you making? What are their functionalities? How are they going to be designed? How are they going to look?
So like this year's competition is like what's a wiffle ball, and you could pick it up. You could pick it up off the floor, like have someone drop it in the robot, and then you shoot it across the field or like in front of the goal. We cleared. This is our old field from last year. We are getting a new field, but there's many ways you could play it out this year. I think this year we're gonna try to be more competitive, since we have like the resources this year and more practice with everything. But we don't know what they're fully designed yet. We did choose what type of drivetrain we picked, and we chose like a Magnum drivetrain. So like instead of like regular wheels, you could just drive back and forth and turn. With Magnum wheels, you could like strafe and go at certain angles, so you have more of an advantage with agility and movement. But you do get pushed around more often. And this year, you have more like defense playability, so there's more heavy defenses here, so you could be rammed without getting penalized.
Okay, so you guys are competing with other robots, battling it out, trying to see whose robot survives the battle.
Kind of is more of who scores the most at the end.
Scores more at the end. Okay, cool.
It's not BattleBots.
Oh, okay,
We-
not battle bots. Okay, yeah.
We like it to be battle. We're actually going to try and start a BattleBot team when all three of us have graduated.
Oh wow. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's very cool to see. Okay, yeah. Hopefully that will happen for you guys when you guys are all done and graduated. Yeah. And so, what made you guys decide on your guys' like going on into those functionalities? Like, what made you guys want to go into different kinds of wheels and different kinds of designs this year?
So it's more of like what is best for that year. Some years you could get away with certain bodies of wheels, but this year, since it's more open, there isn't much obstacles in the way. Having more of like this year is more of like the faster your bot, the more you can score, because since it's so more open field, you can drive back and forth. So I think this year we're trying to go for a lighter bot, because last year a bot did weigh around 40 pounds. It didn't affect us that much since there was a lot of obstacles and there was a lot of stuff in the way, so we didn't have to move that much. But with this year, there's a lot more movement you have to do. So like the lighter bot is, the quicker it is. And also this year you could pick yourself off the floor. So the lighter your bot is, the less your motor struggle. And the issue is if your motor struggle with all that weight, you could burn out the motor and like destroy it.
Anything else that you want to add? Okay, cool. Awesome. No worries. Yeah. And then last year's competition, how'd you guys do last year? Like going into competition, did you guys get any awards? How did that go for you guys last year?
So last year during because every year we try to register for 3 competitions. During those competitions, at the end of it, there's always an award ceremony. They announce who's going to be moving to the state competition, and each awards are essentially based off of like own categories, because those awards are decided by the judges of the competitions. Before you actually go into playing all of your matches, playing against other teams, competing, there's a moment where you actually have to go and presentate your team and your robot to a select amount of judges. During that presentation, the judges will go through, they'll say, okay, they're really good in this area, they're good in this area, such and such, and they'll decide, okay, they can get this award, but this team was better in that area, so maybe we can work something else out because they really like that team. An example, there is the highest honor award you can get at a competition is called the Inspire Award, which is essentially within all of the categories that they're filling out, you excelled that much that they figured, hey, let's give you Inspire, and you can move on to states. So it's completely possible to move on to the state competition without even having win the tournament.
Not anymore.
Really?
It's all ranking points now. The more points you have, the higher chance of you qualifying for state now. It is more awards and how your bot performs now.
Wow. So there used to be just one award that would automatically like take you to state, kind of like a golden ticket, basically.
Basically, like there were other awards. Like we would always get this Innovate Award because of how adaptable our team was. There was also like the Judge's Choice, like just all around good team. Inspire was just the one that like all of the categories fulfilled in.
So do the rules change every year, or is this something new that has just come about in robotics?
So with the program, so there's like 3 of them. You have the Legos, FTC, like the small ones, 18 by 18, and then you have FRC where like they're 4 foot by 120 inches all around. And they're trying to make it more related to that because FRC, their rules are more simplified and they're more easier to like advance in. So they're trying to make FTC the same way because FRC has ranking points. So depending on how you qualify and how much you rank up, determines if you go to state or not. So they're trying to apply that to the same thing because in Arizona we aren't a much a competitive state. We're more of an award team state. So a lot of the teams on here go to state based on awards, but they're doing that all around the world. So like it is gonna be a bit more competitive this year with those award state teams. So they both have to like do well in the robot and the awards now.
Oh, okay.
So making it even for the teams that are competitive, but they aren't very good in awards.
That's very interesting. Wow, that's a whole category of high school, basically sports that I didn't know about. Because basically robotics, you guys competing like how in sports are competing. You guys are going against other high schools and trying to have the better robot, essentially, right?
Sometimes it's not even high schools. There are middle schoolers in teams.
Oh wow, really? You guys, so it's all like mixed within like high schools, middle schools.
Depends if the high school is mixed with the middle schooler, because there's only a certain amount of ages. So I think it's 6th grade to high school, right? For FTC. So it's 6th grade to 8th grade for teams qualified, and FRC is eighth grade to high school.
Oh, okay. And you guys compete only in FTC, or do you
Yeah.
guys compete in all?
We would compete in FRC, just costs so much. Registration for these costs $250.
Wow.
Registration for FRC is 6,000.
Wow, that is a huge jump. Hopefully one day you guys will be able to do that, but
And
I guess-
also, it requires a lot of space. The field is the size of a basketball court.
oh wow, so that's a lot of commitment, a lot of money commitment, and a lot of like field equipment and all that. Wow, yeah, that is a lot. Hopefully, like I said, one day Carper Canyon will be able to do that. But for now, I guess yeah, FTC. Well, $250 is nice, compared to the 6,000 and a whole basketball court that you have to use. So yeah, it is absolutely insane. So have you guys have already started building this year's robot?
Not yet, but we're starting to get like an idea of how we want to score. So like, are we going to pick it off the floor? Is the human player is the person gonna drop it in a robot, or are we gonna do both? All we've decided is like what body we're gonna use and what shape too.
So you guys are still in the building stages of,
Yeah.
in the planning stages of the robot and all that kind of stuff. That's cool. So how do you guys program a robot in general? Like, how do you guys make it do everything? How do you make it move around so much? How do you make it throw? You guys say it's a wiffle ball you guys put into the thing. So how do you make it throw the wiffle ball? How do you make it do all that kind of stuff?
In terms of like actual programming, we essentially just go through Java and actually write it out. Last year, like for our second year of robotics, I was the one who coded the robot. It was my first year learning code. I'm going to do it again this year. But essentially how it worked was comparing to like our first year where we actually use blocks, which are essentially like pre-written scripts of codes that you can just stack onto each other just to essentially make the line for you as long as you know what they do. Java, you have to write out that full thing. So you have to write out each variable, make sure each statement is separate, make sure your loops are in the correct order, make sure you don't have a loop inside of another loop on accident.
Because if one misplace and everything just goes. Who
I
knows?
had an entire code break on me because I forgot to put a semicolon somewhere.
A semicolon.
In reference, after each statement, you have to put a semicolon in there. That's essentially cutting off. That's the end of that statement.
Okay, yeah.
So that you can move on and write the next part. Because I forgot to put in a semicolon, it assumed the rest of that
Oh wow.
instead of taking it as its own individual part.
And so what happened to the robot?
It just didn't run.
Just
The
didn't
code
run.
wouldn't run.
It just stayed put. Wow. I was gonna ask you, my next question was what's been the most challenging part in coding so far, but there you go. We've already gotten the answer to that question.
Spelling errors even happen too.
Oh my goodness, I can't. Oh no, not even one letter, not even one little thing you can misplace on that.
Because if you have multiple, because if you're using a variable, say moving forward, we just label that as forward, right? If you accidentally forget to put the W in there, if you forget to capitalize something, it's not going to recognize that as the same variable, and it's going to be looking for that new variable
And you're just gonna be stuck there doing nothing
until you fix it.
until you fix it. Oh my goodness. So what's something that your code helps the robots do in this year's game? It's just gonna be throwing. Is it just gonna be throwing the wiffle ball, or what other things is it gonna be doing besides?
Well, in the actual match, there is the autonomous period, which is the first 30 seconds of the match, where the robot is completely ran off of its code. It's written out, it's essentially just written out lines for the robot to automatically do and follow. So say we have an autonomous code that's literally just shoot these 3 balls, right? It'll do that, and then it'll just kind of stay there for the rest of the autonomous time until we move on to the teleop period, which is actually when the players control the robot.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow, that's a whole lot of things that go on in one competition for robotics. Holy hole. So how do you guys test your guys' ideas before a competition? Like, what do you guys do? Do you guys just use this field that you guys have back here, or what do you guys do to test out your guys' robots?
Well, yeah, we just use this field for now. Are we getting a new field this year?
We're getting a new one, right?
Oh, then
Well,
yeah.
not the field, just like the stuff.
We're gonna reuse the field, but we're gonna get the new parts to it.
Okay. So is it going to be a bigger field, or what's it gonna? Is it going to be something similar to this?
Just as how we kind of have that big metal, it's called a submersible. That was a part of last year's field as one of the game elements. This year, we're going to get a new set of things to essentially attach to the field and then just work with.
So what is your guys' team strategy for this season? What do you guys plan? What are you guys planning to do for this season? Strategy wise, to make sure you guys everything goes right, like make sure no coding errors happen, and make sure you guys have the right equipment and all that kind of stuff.
So
Massive trial and error.
just design it to the point where like because last year for our first competition when I first designed it, there was a bit of flaws, especially the claw. I didn't properly do the math for it, so like the gears were offset a bit. But last year, our first competition, we had to like do something every match. But like the more like it went on, like the competitions, like the less and less we had to do. So this year, I'm trying to make it where like our first competition, we just put it on our cart and just leave it. No need to like all we need to do is just change the battery or nothing else. Like no need to tighten bolts, remove, fix anything. But I'm trying to like what I'm trying to do with our robot this year is like make it like compact as much as I can, and then also make it where I never have to touch it. Like none of us ever have to touch it in between a competition. Just leave it on the table. Nothing needs to be fixed. All I just need to be like the battery replaced.
Oh,
Because like after every match during a competition, we would essentially just have a full-on pit stop. Are the belts tightened? Is this thing still here? Do we need to replace something? Oh, something broke in the match. Do we have to fix that now? Are we going to be just disabled for the rest of the match? One time during one of our state competitions, we had a problem with our LEDs that was causing what? It was the color sensor,
So
wasn't it?
what happened with the color sensor is that so in the code it basically will loop. So telling it like it constantly updates the code what color is the sensor seeing, and depending on the color the sensor sees, it changes the color of the LEDs. But somewhere along the wiring, I don't know if it got nicked or damaged because that cloud would get beaten up every once in a while. I don't know if that sensor got damaged to the point where it kept like reading to a point where it was stuck in a loop, reading it constantly, and then since it was reading it constantly in a loop of telling the robot what to do, our controls were delayed because it will give so much input. The input will get what I'm assuming what happens is like it would give us an input, but give us so much of an input like it starts stacking on top of each other. So when we would tell it to drive forward, that input would get stuck in between the color sensor. Then when it finally reaches that line of code we told it to, that would be like 5 seconds delayed already. So it was just the sensor kept telling it what to do, and then it just kept stacking on each other to the point where like we couldn't control anything.
oh my goodness, can't even imagine that. So what's it actually like to compete in robotics in a robotics match? Like, what is it like to drive a robot? Like, we all know how all the sports athletes feel before a game. Everyone knows. Everyone has seen the interviews and all that. But how does the robotics team feel for a match, during a match?
So like everything goes by like when you're watching it, like it doesn't seem as quick, but like when you're standing there, like it goes by very quick. Like anything could happen within that time. And you also need to like think of like the rules, like what am I allowed to do? What can I do? Um, and then also how like certain plays, like is it worth going for that play or should I just ignore it? Like a lot of the times, during state, we did have like a game piece get stuck on a robot, but like we just didn't have enough time to like try to figure it out, so we just went to go play defense. That's another thing you need like think about is like, is it worth trying to do things while you're within that 3-minute time period? That's another thing you do have to watch out. Like everything goes by fast, and like you need to think quick before like it's too late to do that option.
Do you guys ever get nervous before a contest?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. How do you guys get through the nerves? What do you guys do? What do you guys do? Like anything like individually? Like, is there something you guys do? Like deep breaths? You eat a snack or something?
I kind of just wait, honestly. Do y'all do anything?
Just do it.
Kind of just wait it out, right? Yeah, I get that. That's what I usually do too. I just, you know what? We're here. Let's do it. Boom. Let's go. Yeah, that's how it happens for me too. So, what are you guys most excited for this season? You said you're a senior, right?
Jaden is the senior.
You're the senior. So it's your last year doing Aztecs. What are you most excited for?
So I always want to do a shooter game because like to me I think they're most fun and like unique to design because like the shooter part of it, like if you make it as complicated as you can, it looks very cool and like how it shoots out. And also like since it's my last year, I kind of want to go like all out on the bot, make it as best as I can. What I'm gonna try to do this year. So what most teams they use 3D printed parts like panels to protect their wheels, or they use polycarbonate. It's kind of expensive too, but like it's flexible. But what a lot of teams use sometimes, they use metal to like use as their frame and their like panels. So that's what I'm also trying to go for this year is use like metal all around our bot because it could make your bot more stronger and lighter if you pocket it right. So like pocketing is like basically removing unnecessary metal in that panel, and it initially makes the panel more lighter. So you could have like a 1 pound ladder, a 1 pound panel, but after you remove all that excess material, it could weigh like less than a pound.
So you want to go all in for your last year. You've been you guys are founding members, so you've been here since day one. So you want to go out with a blast. How about you guys? What are you guys most excited for this season?
Well, I'm excited to see maybe new teams there.
Nice.
I really like the new game this year because you get to shoot. Basically, you have the option to shoot. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see the new game. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with the shooter game. He gets to design it. I get to code the shooter. That's gonna be an experience.
Well, yeah, one of the things I'm gonna try to add so what I'm trying to go with this year is a turret bot. So basically, what it does, it uses a camera, and there's these air tags placed around the field, and the air tags, if your camera reads it, it can determine how far it is to the left or right, and the height it is, and with the turret, it's able to spin and adjust the shooter. So depending what it is, the turret will always read the air tag no matter what. So when you turn around, that turret is gonna move with the bot looking at that air tag still, and as you move around, it will turn, adjust itself. So whenever it is prepared to shoot, it's already at that angle since it's reading the air tag off the wall, and it will just shoot.
That's really cool. Have you guys ever worked with something like that, or is that gonna be something you guys like new that you guys are working with this year?
I've worked with it before. It is very difficult. So our first year, there was like these pixels, and it was like randomized in between a line. So I used a camera that would basically use, I used OpenCV. It's a camera program that would detect objects on the floor. So you basically upload like multiple pictures at multiple angles, and it'll basically tell you if it's middle, left, or right. But I was able to get the camera working, able to detect it. I just couldn't input into a code what to do with it because we just didn't have enough time for state.
So why should students join the Aztecs? You guys are like I said, you guys are founding members of the Aztecs. Why should people join and continue you guys' legacy when you move on this year, when you guys move on next year? Why should people join the Aztecs?
Well, I think people should join it, robotics, because it's like really interesting. You meet new people, like you can have like a lot of things in common that you don't even know. Like it's interesting about robots too. Yeah, you just learn about a lot of new things.
Kind of piggybacking off that, it's a great community. You can have a lot of fun. There's an entire Discord of just all the teams just talking to each other. He's in there a lot. I watch what happens. As well as, like, if you have like that analytical mind like I do, you can get a lot of scholarships out of this.
Nice. That's very beneficial. Hey, the less money that you can pay for college, the better. Especially if you can go for free, do it 100%. What about you? Why should students join?
It's just overall fun. Like for me, like I do most of the designing. So like even at home, I do a lot of designing. So like stuff like my printers, like cause I have like 3D printers at home, and like sometimes when stuff breaks, like instead of me just buying a new part online, I just make it myself and just put it on there. But like it's also fun cause like you learn stuff like how to code, design. I think like design is like the most fun part cause you can use it mostly outside of school too for like anything. And it's just like overall to do fun and also like just watching everything go down.
That's super cool. Any shout outs you guys want to give out to anyone, any mentors, any coaches, teachers, anyone like that? Any other members of the club that you guys want to give a shout out to?
First thing, our Instagram. We have an Instagram. ran by Jaden.
What's the Instagram tag?
Let me actually read it now. All lowercase, AZ_Techs, TCHS_CCHS.
Thank you guys for that information. Make sure you guys give them a follow on Instagram. And thank you guys for watching this episode of the Education Exchange, where we enlighten our parents and empower our students. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of the Education Exchange. Have a question or want to be a guest on our podcast? Email podcast@tuhsd.org for more information. Missed an episode? Catch all seasons of the Education Exchange on your favorite streaming platforms or at www.tuhsd.org/podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Education Exchange.